Hi, everybody. We're starting on time as usual. There are 3 people in the Kahoot lounge. Just let me turn the music on. Okay, I have the game pin already, and we're doing the future tenses today. There are so many. It was quite difficult to make the challenge because often you can use will, but if you overuse will, it's a little bit robotic. It doesn't sound very natural. It doesn't sound very spoken to use will, so it's good to vary the future tense if you can. And today I've made some questions for you where you can see the difference a little bit. Hi, Romelia. Oh, I'm so happy to see Romelia, and Roya is back. She had a little absence for a while. Donald is back. Buddy is back. My dog is not here today, unfortunately. My daughter took him away. He's on vacation. Okay, I've prepared 26 slides. Quite a few of them are explanations, grammar explanations, or reminders about the different tenses. A couple of them are poll questions. I'll remind you when those come up so you don't get confused. Romelia was the winner last week, and she very generously gave the prize to the second person who won because she's won before. She's won, I think that was her 3rd time winning the grand prize, which is a private conversation lesson. And we're going to start now because it's 2 minutes past the hour. Okay, everybody ready? Complete future tense review quiz. I think I put every single future tense in here. When you make a spontaneous decision, use will. So especially when you're speaking, if it's spontaneous, if it's not planned, you can use will. You don't have a car, I'll give you a lift. So there's no time to plan that. Then you can take will. And usually we use the contraction. I'll give you a lift. I'll help you. First question. The phone is ringing. Which answer is correct? Good. I'll answer it. So very short. You can remember it because if you don't have time to, it's not planned, it's spontaneous, you take the shortest one, which is will. I'm going to answer it doesn't make sense in this context because it's not planned. And Buddy is in the lead. Bye. Have a nice weekend. It's also a spontaneous situation where you answer spontaneously. Bye. I'll see you later. You got to use the will future. Or just see you later, but I didn't add that one. Okay. Buddy's in first place. Sammy's in second place. Now for the 4th slide. True or false? We use the will future for promises. If you tell me to do something and I say I will, that means I promise. Very good. 100% correct. Such fantastic students. So we're starting more with will and going to. Later they'll get a little bit harder. Clean your room. This is multi-select. You can select more than one answer. I will. That means I promise. I'm going to is also okay here because you have planned to do it. I will have done does not work. We'll learn about that in just a few minutes. And the scoreboard looks about the same. Buddy in the lead, then Sammy, then Roya. I like your avatars. We use going to when things are planned. I'm going to clean my room this weekend. That's my plan. Now for your first poll question, you can select more than one. Tomorrow, I'm going to. What are you going to do tomorrow? It's not a quiz question, it's a poll question. So it's just gathering information. Okay, so most people are going to work. That's too bad. Make phone calls and go into work. Most popular answers. Nobody's washing their hair, only one of you. Okay. Only one person is taking public transport. Bunch of drivers. We can use the present continuous for the near future. I'm leaving in 10 minutes. They're catching the 10 o'clock flight. Are you seeing the dentist tomorrow? So those are all in the present continuous tense. What is the near future? I would say later today, tomorrow, in a few days, all constitute near future, but you can use your judgment. Usually we could use the present continuous if we can also use going to, so for a plan. Public transportation and public transport and public transit are all the same. Sorry, I can't give you a lift home. And which future tense is suitable here? Is it a plan? Think about the situation. Good. I'm meeting my grandma in 20 minutes. It's near future. I'm going to meet my grandma in 20 minutes. It's a plan. It has been planned. I will meet, technically, you can say I'll meet my grandma in 20 minutes if it's spontaneous. But this situation is not spontaneous because when you say it, you know that you're going to see your grandma, so it's planned. So always when it's planned, you know it, you use the going to or the present continuous. It takes practice, these future tenses. Use going to when making a prediction too. Look at the traffic. We're going to be late. This is especially true if you see something, some present evidence, and from what you see, you can predict something in the future, like this one. They're writing too fast. You can see that they're writing too fast. So which future tense can you take? Wow, so fast. They're going to fall. Remember, I'm predicting from what I see what's going to happen. They fall means every day. So the present simple you use when it's all the time. Sammy's in the lead, followed by Buddy, and then Roya, Romelia, and Donald. Good job, everybody. You're at the fortune teller, and she's reading your future. What does she see? She's talking about the future and she's making a prediction. So only one is possible. You are going to have 7 children because she's making a prediction. If someone says you are having 7 children, that means you're giving birth at the moment, right now. You could say, I'm having a baby next month. That's possible. It's a near future, but you can't have 7 of them in the near future. Very good. Buddy climbs up to first place, followed by Roya, I think. Have you decided on your next trip? So it's multi-select. More than one are possible. The blue and the green. Yes, we're staying in Austria on our next trip, so we can assume it's near future. And yes, we're going to stay in Austria because it's our plan. Hello, yes, we'll stay in Austria. It's not possible because it's not spontaneous. So if I ask, have you decided? And you have decided, you have to take the going to future. And yes, we stay in Austria is also not possible because it's not in a future tense. Roya, yeah, so yes, we'll stay in Austria. You use that if you're really deciding it right now. So if I say, I have no food in my house, I'll go shopping. I say it the moment that I see it. It's not a plan. If you use the will, it's not the plan. But I know that you're used to doing a lot of writing, and sometimes, especially in formal writing, the will is used in a more formal way. But in general English, we use, for plans, we use the going to and the present continuous. That's why it isn't correct in this context. Because it's decided. Yay! Good, everyone got this one. I'm not working tomorrow. It's the near future. I'm not going to work tomorrow. Also near future and planned, because he knows it. This is also a case when will or will not work is not possible because it's planned. He knows the information already. I also want to say that will is used with certain phrases. Like will we use with the conditional, with if. So if I see him, I will tell him. And with I think, like I think I will do it. Those are exceptions when we do use the will future if it's planned. Yeah, or I'm sure he will. That's also possible. But in other situations, when it's something that's decided or in your calendar already, you have to use going to. Good, and Buddy is in the lead, followed by Sammy and Roy. Yeah. Okay, if I lose my job, 2 of them are correct. 2 of them are possible. I will go back to university, or I might go back to university. What's the difference between will and might? I'm glad nobody chose the yellow, maybe will. So will is something sure in the future, and might is maybe, so it's unsure. Modal verb, but also for the future. And I will have gone. If I lose my job, I will have gone back to university. It doesn't work here with the if sentence because I don't see the connection between losing my job in the future and then will have gone means completed. Means, yeah, it doesn't work. The time doesn't add up. Good, Romelia. So might is a probability degree. Very good. Buddy is still in the lead. Future continuous for longer actions in the future. Okay, so especially if something is interrupting another thing in the future, you use the future continuous. Here's the example. At 5 o'clock tomorrow, so a specific time in the future, I will be sitting on the airplane and watching a film. So I will be sitting is the longer activity that gets interrupted by the time at 5 o'clock. Number 17, I hate arriving so late. Everyone, and then which future is possible? When I arrive late, everyone will be watching the movie. So they will be in the middle of the activity watching the movie. Very good. Everyone got that one right. Roya is on fire now. You got to catch up with Sammy and Buddy. You can use the present simple when talking about a scheduled event or timetable. True or false? Good, this is true. So this is very rare, I also want to say. Like you wouldn't say, I stay in Austria. The other example, I wouldn't say that because it's my plan. I would only use the present simple if it's really, I'm looking at a schedule. Like the concert starts at 6 o'clock, right? Or the flight leaves tomorrow at 7. That would constitute scheduled event or timetable. Multi-select, you can select more than one. You can select 1, 2, or 3. I think one person got all 3 right. Good. So the event is starting 15 minutes later than schedule. The event is going to start 15 minutes later than schedule. And the event will be starting 15 minutes later than scheduled. It's a mean one because will be starting doesn't sound like a longer activity, but it's often used in a bit of a more formal way. So if you're saying it as an announcement or in a formal way or in a formal email, they also sometimes choose to use the future continuous because it sounds more formal, more polite. future perfect actions completed by a specific time in the future. We will have learned, this is simple, we will have been learning so much grammar by the end of the semester. Will have learned, that means it took place before the time reference and it was finished or completed by the time in the future. We're so late for check-in. By the time we check in our bags, the plane will leave, left. We'll have left. Perfect. By the time in the future, the plane will have left. Yeah, so we're talking about the future. So the blue one, left, is also not possible. We use future perfect simple for, and then you have to choose the definition. Very good. A completed action by a certain future time. Not after that time, but before. Present perfect tenses are interesting because they're always until a time. Present perfect is until now. Past perfect is until a time in the past. And future perfect is until a time in the future. So at or before. And Sammy overtook Buddy. 23 out of 26. Multi-select. Can I call you at 7 p.m. tonight? Which answer makes sense? No, I'll have dinner then. No, I'm going to have dinner then. No, I'll be having dinner then. Or no, I will have had dinner then. So think about the context. They say no, it's not a good time. Good. I'm glad nobody took the will. Imagine if someone says, can I call you at 7? And you say, oh, I'll have dinner then. Like you're just deciding. No, I'm going to have dinner then. That means I start dinner at 7. I'm going to have dinner at 7 means I'm starting at 7. I'll be having dinner then means you'll be interrupting the dinner if you call at 7 p.m. Very good. I will have had dinner by then. That in that case, you would say, yes. Can I call you at 7 p.m.? Yes, I will have had dinner by then. That means I will have finished my dinner by then. So you have to think of the context a little bit. Romelia's on fire and Sammy's in the lead, followed by Buddy. On our next wedding anniversary, which future tense can you use? We will have been married for 30 years is the only possible one. So on our next wedding anniversary, that's a time in the future, we will have been married for 30 years. Now we have been married for 29 years. On our next wedding anniversary, we will have been married for 30 years. We will be married for 30 years. You say that before you get married. Buddy's in the lead. Here's another poll question. 20 years from now, humans will, what do you think? Be taking vacations in space? Will have found a cure for cancer? Will be working less? Will have stopped using oil and gas? You don't think we'll be taking vacations in space, but we'll have found a cure for cancer. That's very optimistic. And we'll have stopped using oil and gas. But we'll still be working the same or more. 26 of 26. I work from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. At 5 p.m., I will. Only one is possible. I will have been working, remember, by 5 p.m., I will have been working for 8 hours. I will be working doesn't work because it's, okay, I will have been working. That means before and until that time. So you could say I will be working when I receive your phone call. So it's interrupted by something. But up to a time, I will have been working for 8 hours at 5 p.m. Very good. Let's see who the winner is today. Good job. Romelia's third place. Buddy's second place. And first place is Sammy. Perfect. So get in touch with me, Sammy. Oh, I have to leave my email in the live. I always forget to do that in case you don't have it. And you can contact me about your free conversation lesson. And if anyone has an idea of something they'd like me to do for the next live stream, just let me know. You can send me an email too. Page unresponsive. Okay, I can't add it. I'll add my email to the description box if it's not there yet, so you can contact me. And I see Vikas is again asking about book recommendations. I have so many books. I need to know your level and what you want, and then I can answer you. Do you want a grammar book? Do you want a reference book? Do you want a course book? Do you want a novel? Or you have to give me some more information. Maybe I can do a video on that. Subjunctive. Romelia, we've done the subjunctive. I think we did that a few weeks ago. Have you watched it yet? I think, weren't you there for the subjunctive? Anyway, we can all think about topics. Maybe I'll put a poll in the community tab so we can come up for some new ideas. And I hope everyone has a nice evening, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.